we're going to be covering this bombshell drop of genre news. And that is the fact that Liam Hemsworth is replacing Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia in the Witcher series, Chad. Netflix's hit Witcher series. This is on various platforms, but I'm reading this via Deadline, chat. Netflix has renewed The Witcher for a 4th season with a twist, chat. We haven't even seen the 3rd season yet. What's the twist? Liam Hemsworth will replace Henry Cavill in the epic drama series, taking the reins as Geralt of Rivia. The move comes ahead of the 3rd season of the series, which will return in summer 2023. A 4-part prequel series, The Witcher Blood Origin, launches December 25th, 2022. Cavill, who revealed earlier this week he will return in the role of Superman, played the grim Geralt of Rivia, the bane of supernatural beasties in the first 3 seasons of the drama series. We haven't even seen the 3rd season. What are you talking about? The Witcher is a story of the intertwined destinies of 3 individuals in the vast world of the continent, where humans, elves, witchers, gnomes, and monsters battle to survive and thrive, and where good and evil is not easily identified. Hemsworth, who is best known for starring in the Hunger Games franchise, recently starred in Quibi drama. Oh, the Quibi, man, when you have to, why did I be like, if I was Liam Hemsworth, I'm like, please don't bring up my Quibi drama. Please don't bring up my Quibi drama. Most Dangerous Game. He will take over as Geralt of Rivia and was believed to be a rich deal. According to sources, Cavill had made a short-term deal for The Witcher and felt it was time to move on after 3 seasons on the show, which films overseas and has a demanding production schedule. He already has film and TV projects lined up, including the just-announced The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. That's a bad title. In addition to the Superman return, Cavill's Witcher co-stars, we can negotiate the contracts heading into season 4, sources said. Cavill released a statement. Cavill said, "My journey as Geralt of Rivia has been filled with both monsters and adventures. And alas, I will be laying down my medallion and my swords for season 4. In my stead, the fantastic Mr. Liam Hemsworth will be taking up the mantle of the White Wolf. As of the greatest of literary characters, I pass the torch with reverence for the time spent embodying Geralt and enthusiasm to see Liam's take on the most fascinating nuance of men. Liam, good sir, this character has such a wonderful depth to him. Enjoy diving in and seeing what you can find." And then Hemsworth himself, chat. Let's read his quote. As a Witcher fan, I'm over the moon about the opportunity to play Geralt of Rivia. Henry Cavill's been an incredible Geralt. I'm honored that he's handing me the reins and allowing me to take up the White Wolf's blades for the next chapter of his adventure. Henry, I've been a fan of yours for years. I was inspired by what you brought to this beloved character. I may have some big old boots to fill, but I'm truly excited to be stepping into the Witcher world. So first of all, even though it has since been revealed, chat, that Henry Cavill, much to my chagrin, Henry Cavill will be reprising his role of Superman in the DC universe. Yeah, they're just calling it that now. I will say, first good step of the James Gunn and Peter Safran area. Get rid of that DCU. What does that mean? What's the context? Who knows? DC universe. Very simple. But he will be reprising his Superman character. We'll see what happens to that. You know, he has described it. I'm excited to play a much more joyous version of the character, which, I mean, that does sound good. I'm happy to hear that, even though, he has a hell of a fucking body count behind him, chap, but I'm sure they're going to sweep that away. We'll find out what happens there. But I guess I just hadn't considered at the time that he was going to leave The Witcher. I thought, he's going to be doing both. I mean, that's just what his life is going to be. He's going to be doing The Witcher show and then obviously doing Superman movies or DC appearances and things. Playing Superman in other DC films as well. So yeah, this came as kind of a shock. I feel like a lot of people were shocked by this too because, I have to say, chat, I have a lot of thoughts on The Witcher series. I think it's okay. It's good. It's good. It's just, I don't really know what the hell's happening most of the time. I was like, what's, it didn't help that we're bouncing around time in the first season. I was like, all right. But the thing I liked about the show is Henry Cavill as Geralt. He was the best. I think everyone said, but Henry Cavill's great. And I would agree. He's the best thing about the show. He's charismatic and you like him. He's the one you always want to be around, Chaz. Like, no, I really like this character. I like following him. And in season 2, again, he was the best thing about it, obviously. I still know what the fuck was happening. I was like, what, these elves? By the way, I don't give a shit about elves, I think, in any property now at this point. I'm kind of done. The Witcher series, I'm like, I don't care about this elven plot line. It's like, all right, I feel bad for him, kind of. But after a while, I'm like, you're just spinning your wheels with them. And same thing with Rings of Power. I'm sick of elves. Just move on. They're kind of boring, Chad. They're just really boring fantasy characters. Give me hobbits, give me gnomes, give me dwarves, give me orcs. Give me just smelly humans, please. But I don't want to see another elf. God, they're so full of themselves. I hate them goddamn knife ears. I do, but he was fun. I liked Henry Cavill, and I watched the first season, or excuse me, I watched the second season. Again, I can't remember too much of the main plot, but I liked his story of Siri and all that, hunting monsters. That's what you're there for. That's why you're watching the show. And that's what kept me watching it, Chad. And so to hear that now he's leaving this. Now again, we're gonna get one last season. It's gonna be weird. Yeah, they're gonna market this. We're gonna get one last season with him with season 3, and after that he's just gonna go. I hope they do. We were talking about this, I feel like, on Discord Discourse. Saying like, oh, what's the explanation that he doesn't look different? It's like, oh, some magic spell is going to slightly transform him, or he'll be horrifically injured, like some soap opera bullshit, where he's horribly, transformed or something. They have to fix his fucking face or whatever, and he comes back looking like Liam Hemsworth instead of, Henry Cavill. I don't know. I feel now. Listen, I'm not as invested in this show as other people. Like, they could have canceled it. I had no idea they were going to be doing a season 4, but they probably could have canceled that show and went like, oh, well, what are we going to do? It hasn't really grabbed me like something like, in terms of fantasy stuff, like House of the Dragon. It's just not at that level yet. I feel like it's got a couple of its characters right, but the rest of the world, I'm like, I don't really care about these people. But at the same time, I feel like the main reason a lot of people have been watching The Witcher is for the Witcher character of Geralt and Henry Cavill's portrayal of that character. And so now you're just completely getting rid of that, just replace him. I don't know, it's kind of shocking. I mean, not that we haven't had people in genre projects get replaced before, but I don't know, it's weird to see in like a huge TV show like this. They're doing that. So I don't know if this is going to work. Honestly, chat, if I was Netflix, I'd been like, all right, shit, okay, we got to pause. Like, instead of maybe trying to get The Witcher out every year or however often it was coming out, now it's like, all right, well, he has to fulfill his contractual obligations to DC. Let's just delay the season and wait. Because I feel like he's the face of the show, chat, I mean, I know there's other actors, of course, and, there's a lot of other things that go into the making of these shows, and you have to put these people on retainer if you're waiting. Like, I know that it's all that, and Netflix allegedly has money issues. Who knows? But, yeah, it's just weird that they're going through, because I feel like, I have not even checked social media to see how people are reacting to this news, but I don't think they're taking it very well. But that's just kind of my general thoughts on it, Chad. I mean, like, I think this is a mistake. I mean, they're going to try, but I'm very curious to see what those numbers are going to be for season 4, but I don't know, Chad. I don't know. I think this might be a mistake for Netflix. What about you guys? How do you guys feel about the sudden recasting of Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia, which I consider to be his best role, Chad? Oh, the most I've seen on social media for the change was, but why? Yeah, it's scheduling. I'm sure it's scheduling conflicts, and the fact that he's probably going to make more money as Superman. He's like, I'm going to make so much fucking money. He's probably got a multi-picture deal already lined up with DC right now with Warner Brothers, probably for the next 10 or so years. I think he's just about to turn 40. He's 38, 39 years old. So he's going to be probably playing Superman, for the next decade. And I'm sure Man of Steel 2 is happening, and the multiple appearances throughout the rest of the DC film universe. Apparently, allegedly, a Superman vs. Black Adam film, which I don't really want to see at all, but that's probably happening too. So, yeah. Netflix is killing their best shows right now. Hey, if you're not Stranger Things and Arcane, then you're on the chopping block always. Let's see here. Liam's Hemsworth just annoys me. Oh, man. Dribblers, I cried a little tear when I saw Henry Cavill post it. Fans are taking it well. All right, there you go. I guess they do have some leeway because he really hasn't come out, and when they would still have to film season 4 sometime next year, and then release it late 2024 or 25. Meanwhile, big bro Luke Hemsworth, I'm just doing my thing. Yeah, I know. I feel sorry for Liam Hemsworth because everyone knew it's like this is not going to go over well with fans. They're not going to like this, so I'm sure he's going through the ringer right now. I feel bad for him. Netflix wastes money on the dumbest shit. They do. I mean, fucking The Gray Man. They spent $250 million, but apparently that was a huge hit, so I don't fucking know. I don't know. They don't reveal their analytics. They only reveal them when they want to. Feels like a strange but honestly not surprising announcement. I feel Henry was so committed to Witcher because he felt he wouldn't return to Soups. Now that he is returning, I'm guessing he wants to throw everything at it to make sure it's actually successful in the way it was. Yeah, I guess so. It's just weird because I remember when he was cast as the Witcher, I think people were pretty positive. I mean, I wasn't exactly that positive because I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of him. I'm not a big fan of him as an actor. But I mean, when I saw the show, I was like, wow. I mean, he's the best thing about it. I actually really like him. There's a charm to him, chat. And I was like, which a lot of roles he never had. And I was like, oh, good. Hey, maybe Superman didn't work out, but hey, yeah, this character, and it's a hit series. You're going to make many more seasons. So now he's moving away from that. It's kind of weird, kind of shocking. But, I mean, I think it just comes down to he's going to make a lot more money. He's going to make a lot more money. And I guess the other thing the article brought up, like the shooting schedule, where they shoot, that was difficult, probably difficult on him. He's like, fuck this. I'd rather play this Superman character where I go to a studio every day and I'm just like in a harness and that's it. So maybe make it a little easier for him. I don't know. I feel like playing Superman is a far less demanding job. I mean, absolutely is. It's a far less demanding job than playing Geralt. So that's probably the other thing too. He's like, because you have to think about it. If he's doing multiple seasons, and those shows take a long fucking time to shoot, chat. And Geralt's like a super physical character, you know? It's a lot of the times, it's like he has to perform a lot of those moves and the choreography and chat. He's got to stay in that shape. Where, hey, you're Superman. You got a lot of CGI that can take care of all that. So I think it's that, too. So he's like, it'll just be easier for him to play Superman. So, I mean, I get it. I understand why he's doing it. Totally understand it. But people are going to be upset. And it seems like, from what you guys telling me, people are upset. Yeah. Let's see here. Chris Hemsworth's Thor had Hunger Games. Now he's getting The Witcher. Luke Hemsworth just sits back and picks up those bit rolls. Hey, man. It's working for him. Hey, he was in Ragnarok and Love and Thunder. The timing of the announcement that Liam wasn't good. People are already shocked about Cavill's exit and announcing replacement, regardless if he's playing Geralt. Automatic gonna maybe upset. Yeah, that was just. I think maybe it's just too quick. It comes way too, because it was just like all at once. It was like, Jesus. I don't know. Maybe they just want to nip in the bud. Maybe they just want to rip the fucking Band-Aid off and go like, all right, here, this is how it's going to be, all right? And people are going to have to get used to it. But it's just weird because now they're going to get people are going to get a whole season, a whole new season of Henry Cavill as Geralt. So, it's weird. Henry said he was commuted to 7 seasons of The Witcher, and for him to leave after only 3 makes me think they have big plans for Superman, probably featuring in a bunch of upcoming DC. But now, especially James. Yeah, no, I bet that's what is he. Wow, 7. Holy shit. Yeah. Listen, I gave him so many chances. I remember when he was in the Hunger Games and when he was going to be in Catching Fire with the book for him, where I just couldn't buy him acting. My gal Jennifer Lawrence was amazing. Hutcherson was amazing, but there was Liam and the love triangle just happened. Oh yeah, that was rough. That love triangle. Face palming so much that I'm sorry. I was face palming so much when he was having scenes. Gotcha. Yeah. I see people who are fans of both saying, well, if he has to sacrifice playing Geralt to play Superman, okay. But yeah, I don't know. Speaking selfishly, very selfishly for myself, I liked him as Geralt. I thought he was doing a good job. You know, he was doing a good job. Where Superman, I didn't think he was. So it's like, all right, well, we'll see. But at the same time, I didn't love The Witcher show. I thought he was the best thing about it, but that show has problems. That show has a lot of problems. Like the fact that I don't know what the fuck is happening most of the time. I'm like, all right, I get it. Siri, that's like basically his adopted daughter, taking her on adventures, monster. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with the elves. The Nilfgaard. It's like, all right, I get it. You know, you're some kind of super religious, all powerful army. You're taking over the continent. Like, all right, sure. Taking over the continent. All right. You got all these goddamn witches and warlocks. They're all betraying each other, I guess. Maybe occasionally. I don't know. I like the Monster Hunter. That's it. Oh. Also, with new management, you might have a second chance to play the character. Yeah. I mean, it's just that baggage. That's my whole thing. It's like, it's just all that baggage, all that body count, all those skyscrapers that he knocked over. Vortex is less demanding, but if they've got multiple films lined up and cameos, then maybe they're going to be going down the route that actually acquires. No, I have no doubt. I have no doubt they need him. I'm sure. You know, it's just going to be less demanding. You know, he's going to make probably more money from it too. Probably get points in the back end. Yeah, he's set. You know, I mean, I'm still fearing about Independence Day 2, but Liam was the least of that movie. Yeah, I mean, I forgot he was in. You reminded me he was in the movie. I forgot completely. I will never understand an actor want more money to play roles. I'll be happy with that. Hey, man, you already earned millions. You want even more millions. Yeah. You want that safety net. Virtual Samurai. One thing I dislike about the Witcher show is that they leave out the time and location description. Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck we are in the world. I'm like, I have no idea. It was like you kind of put that in comparison to something like House of the Dragon, where thankfully they've kind of kept it in a surprisingly small area, mostly King's Landing, Dragonstone, and Driftmark. We're just kind of been there the whole time, and I'm like, oh shit, that's true. Imagine season 2 we're gonna be moving around, of course. But I was like, oh yeah. Even before then, they were just like, okay, we're in King's Landing, we're in Driftmark, we're here, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I don't know where the fuck we are. I don't know the kingdoms. I don't know the geography of the continent yet. Like, people, like, we know. What's just so crazy about when you compare those shows, like Game of Thrones or like House of Dragon? Like, I understand the geography of Westeros. I know where everything fucking is on that guy. Plus, they show you constantly what the continent looks like. Like, does anyone know what the continent in The Witcher looks like? Could someone describe it to me? It's like, no one knows. I have no fucking clue. I mean, that show just has issues in general. But Henry Cavill is not one of those issues. He was the best thing about it.